Mathenge Oya kugai Atoitware kwanira nego Gerede kumenye Imwagire rugai Andone mamenyogo Nigatiga uko wasagai Desio kano indesio de Toire jiguaga Maria wekaga gai Nore umaitho makwa ni marona Maria we utikire Nimwagire rugai Andu ni mamenye ugo Nigatiga gukugoca Ngai Waigire tukimathie Uthamaki no thigu Thithino na twakinya gwaku iguru Ugatugaira muoyo Nimwagire rugai Andu ni mamenye uguo Nigatiga gukugoca Ngai Desio kana indesio the
Wow, thanks so very much, our sister Salome, for your sweet song. May the Lord God bless you. We have really enjoyed your song this very particular morning. Once again, I want to welcome all of us on board. This is Matalo TV coming to you live from our studios. Yes, I know you are eagerly waiting to hear what is about to be released this very particular moment to all of us. And I want to promise all of us that it will be hot, it will be encouraging, and I want to promise also that we will not frustrate, we will not be, discourage you, but we are here to give you hope and to give you a word of encouragement. Now, this very particular moment, as you are joining up with us in Matalo TV, I just want to make my humble request, as always, that those of us that are following us through Facebook, please request so many people to continue linking with us, and also encourage many to watch Matalo TV. Yes, to those of us that are following us through Instagram and Twitter, please do the same, and the Lord will bless you. Those of us that are following us through YouTube, please ask as many as possible to continue subscribing, in order for all of us to join in this battle of nurturing and raising a strong boy child who will become also a strong leader, not only in their families but also in the nations. Now, listen to this. It is important that we also ask our neighbors and our good friends from far and wide to join Matalo TV. I know that to those of us who've been following Matalo TV, you've really learned so much, and so we don't want to be mean with this information. Would like to spread this information far and wide, such that we may be able to heal as many as possible. And so let's not be mean in any way, but let us spread this information to as many people as possible. Please, to those of us that are following us through TikTok, just do the same. Encourage many friends to join, and also share the information with many. So before we get started on the topic of the day, remember we are dealing with why the boy child is becoming weak by the day. That is where we are, and that's why we are taking much of our time to dig, to understand the reason as to why this boy is becoming weak by the day. So don't quit and don't switch off that channel. Please continue watching and continue listening, and above all, find yourself a good pen and a good book such that you may be able to write down that which we are about to release to all of us. And so allow me to switch to the other side of the studio, even as I bring to us another number as we prepare for the lesson of today. God bless you as you invite many. Let's go to the other side of the studio and get ourselves this number.
Uhoro wa mehia ni wanindeire ũhonokio wakwa ũkĩhonokia rĩu nĩngũkwenda gũkĩra mbere.
Thanks also very much, Pastor Tabitha, for your song. God bless you and increase you from every side. It's good to be on air once again, and I believe you are so excited also to join us on Matalo TV. Yes, we've been discussing the 6 stages of leadership, and I hope you've been following. We have discovered that if we have to remain good and strong leaders, one must be trained to understand what it means to carry with themselves in this level of leadership, that is individual leadership. You are trained to understand what it means to stand on your 2 feet, such that you are not leaning on your left or on your right. You are able to stand strong on your 2 feet. That is individual leadership. The second stage of leadership is the leading of the wife, and I know you have listened to me. You have discovered so many things, and God bless you for making a point to follow. Number 3 is the leading of the children, where we've dwelt for some time, and we have discovered also so many things that concerns the leadership of the little ones until we mature them. Now the third part, the fourth part of it is social leadership, and in social leadership we also discover so many things that are contained there, and we are going to inform ourselves in the right way possible, such that we may not become weak leaders socially, but we remain strong leaders socially. The other one is religious leadership. We'll get into that one, and I'll also show you many things that are going wrong and how to rectify such mistakes. The last one is resource management or resource leadership. Now, I know I promised that I'll be starting on social leadership, but before I get there, let me just sum up this childhood leadership. And I would like to start by saying that we are emotional beings, and so sometimes we are very much affected of our emotions or controlled by our emotions. And so it was the duty of a good father to train their sons and daughters to understand that there are different levels of emotions, and they should know how best to handle their emotions. And so a father would tell their son that as you be growing in different stages of life, you'll be affected by your emotions either positively or negatively. But it is your duty to know how best best to control your emotions and how best to channel your emotions in the right in the right and constructive way, so such that you may not get to ruin that which you are raising up. So a father would prepare their sons to understand that they should be aware that anger will be striking once and again, but when anger comes, learn to channel your anger in a constructive way. So don't allow yourself to be controlled of anger, and don't mess yourself with anger. And sometimes the father would tell them, you'll also be getting angry. And when you get angry, I mean that is the part of anger. When you get angry, you don't go out fighting people, but know how to control your anger when you get angry. Other times the father would tell them that it is normal that sometimes to feel that it's like you are losing the battle, but even in such moment when you are feeling so weak, please don't be controlled by your weak feelings, but be strong at all times. Keep hope high at all times. So, and the last part here, maybe I'll just mention a little bit of this, is when the boy was being taught of the father on how to handle the wife to be, or the wife that he'll marry. He would be told of his father, many a times you will disagree with your wife, and many a times you'll have small battles coming now and then, but even in such moment you must learn to understand that whatever arguments that come about should not resort into war or into battle, but you need to contain your emotions in a very in a very controlled manner. And if you must channel such emotions, let them be channeled in a very constructive manner, such that you don't destroy the wife to be, or you don't destroy what you love most. So, and the father would tell their son, my son, have you ever seen me maybe knock down your mother? And the son would say, no. Does it mean that your mother does not does not annoy me? And the son would say, I don't know. And the father would tell their son, your mother annoys me in the morning, she annoys me in the noontime, she even annoys me in the evening, but I've learned one thing, that I'll never allow my emotions, my anger, my bitterness control me, but I'll always be above my anger and my bitterness, such that even when she makes me angry, I'll look for a way to escape that anger and that bitterness, and care more about our future relationship. So a son would be prepared to understand that even the wife that the son would marry, that wife will make that son angry, but the father would introduce to him some wisdom on how to deal with such when such time comes. So it is important that we even train our sons, even in our days, to understand such, because we have a generation today that is fighting from morning to evening. They don't know how to control their anger. They don't know how to control their bitterness. Women talk and insult. Men wake up and fight. Now, such things should not be around. The daughter should be around to channel their emotions in a very constructive way, and also the sons should be trained also to understand how best to channel their emotions in a very constructive way. And so if we do it right, and if they are trained in the right way, we'll avoid a lot of a lot of silly arguments, a lot of accusations, and we'll be able to build up some healthy families. Now, to wind up, I must say that there is no family that is 100%, but we must learn to appreciate our differences, appreciate our mistakes, and and condone one another when things are not working. Let's forgive one another when things are not working, and let's keep hope high, such that after that, such moments of troubles, such moments of anger, such moments of violence, such moments should not control us, but we should keep our hope high, such that we'll be able to overcome such and see the bright future that is ahead of us. And so that one is very important. I just felt that I needed to highlight on that, because at the end of the day, you bring up sons and they will mature, they will marry, but marriage is not everything. It's not, it's not the apex of all things. It is the beginning of another long journey, and people should be prepared on how to walk that journey. Now, having said that, allow me now to touch on this other area of social leadership. And social leadership is such a wide topic, and it requires much time for people to be trained to be able to follow. And we are going to take enough time to train ourselves to understand what is social leadership and what are the implications therein. So we need to go step by step in order for all people to understand. But before I get you there, allow me to go to the other side of the studio and bring to us another number.
Wewe Gai munene waita gotire onge Gai okoigana wewe Gai urogosago inya na ukoti ni wonanagia kuma tene na ginya reu ni wahonagia na ni uhonagia Niwokaga togwita niwokaga wewe Gai utahotago wewe Gai munene waita gotire onge Gai okoigana wewe Gai urogosago.
Thanks so very much, our brother, for your good song. God bless you. Now, I want to start by asking a question. Why is it that politicians are messing with us right, left, and center on a daily basis? Yes, why is it that politicians are messing with us right, left, and center every other single day? The answer is simple. It is because our social lives are wanting. And I come again, it is because our social lives are wanting. And I remember when we were growing up, we were told that leaders come to us. Nobody introduced to us that we are also leaders in our own capacity. And that is the beginning of our downfall. When a son is not prepared of their father to understand that they are also leaders in their own capacity, they will be controlled by others. They will live tormented by fear, and they will be men and men of no influence. So it is important that we understand that as much as we have different levels of leadership, every male child is born a leader. We may not be equal in our levels of leadership. We may not be we may not be equal in our capacity as leaders. But every one of us should be trained to understand that they are leaders in their own capacity. And no matter how how a leader appears to be strong, such should not break them that are weak. They should be prepared to understand that they are leaders in their levels, but we are also leaders in our levels. And for all of us to be able to come together and listen together, we must be raised to understand that we have something that we contain in ourselves that is so special that no other leader maybe has. So we should not ignore the fact that we are also leaders in our own capacity, and we have in ourselves something so special that no other leader has. And that is very important. And how do this journey begin? Or where is the genesis of all this? Now listen to this. It was the duty of a good father to prepare their son's self-image. And I want to say it again, it was the duty of a good father, and it should be the duty also of a good father to prepare their sons and also their daughters' self-image. Because the moment somebody's self-image is damaged, I'm telling you, you can never make any strong leader. Whether educated or not educated, you will never ever make a strong leader. So the whole duty of a father is to nurture what we call self-image in their son and also in their daughters. Now, what is contained, or what does it entail to have a good self-image? Now, that one now brings us to a position of breaking down what builds up a strong self-image. Now, there are 5 components that are so much required in building a strong self-image or a strong, healthy self-image. Now, which are these components that build up a good or a good and a healthy, strong image? Number 1, a father would tell their son, every time you find yourself living, live to understand that you are lovable. That is number 1. Number 2, a father would tell their son, as long as you live, never forget that you are acceptable. Number 3, the father would tell their son, you should never forget that you are wanted. And number 4, a father would tell their son, Lord, never ever forget that you are special. And the last one, the father would tell their son, never ever forget that you are also capable of making your own decisions. Those are the components that builds up the strong self-image, or a good, healthy self-image, or good self-image. Now, that is what builds up a strong self-image. Now, a majority of us have never heard of it. For sure, maybe there are people who've just had it for the first time. And they are 80 years, they are 60 years, they are 70 years, they are 60, they are 50, they are 40, they are in their 20s, and they have never heard this. Listen to this. If you miss this in social leadership, I'm telling you, you'll be manipulated by others, you'll be controlled by others, and you'll always live in fear. So the whole duty of a father here is to prepare their daughters and their sons to understand that you don't expect other people to love you first, but you should grow knowing that you are lovable. And I just want to bring this small illustration to all of us. I don't know whether you know that how you carry yourself talks volume to those that are in your surrounding more than some verbal words. Or how you conduct yourself from inside talks volume, even it speaks louder than your verbal words. Now, if you feel from within, I'm not lovable, I'm telling you, people will lead that one, people will sense that one from afar. And it'll scatter people away from you. So a father knew the secret of teaching their sons to love and appreciate themselves first before they are loved of others or appreciated of others. So if you don't know that you are lovable, I'm telling you, you'll be chasing after love right, left, and center. Listen to this. Before you get loved of other people, you need to train to understand that the first love must come from you. And let me tell you, you'll only attract them that are in your circles. If you feel inferior, you'll always attract other inferior people. If you feel strong, I'm telling you, you'll always attract some strong people. If you feel that you are not lovable, you'll also attract those people who are not lovable. And so you must understand that if you have to make it in social leadership, because there are a lot of opposition and rejection in social leadership, if you don't start well and you find rejection ahead there, you will shrink whether you like it or not. If you don't start well and you find opposition ahead there, I'm telling you, you will retreat whether you like it or not. But people who understands that they are lovable, they don't care the opposition, the rejection that comes their way. What drives them is the power of love that is in them. And let me tell you, it is very hard to conquer somebody who knows how best to love themselves, who are grown in that kind of an understanding. It's very hard for you to beat them up. It is very hard for you to win their game, because you oppose them, but they have a driving power in them telling them it is only these few people who are opposing you, but you are loved. It is only these few people who are rejecting you, but you are loved. Listen to this. That's a driving force that you need to have in yourself. Number two, a father would tell their son, don't expect people to accept you first, but learn to accept yourself first. And so he would tell their son, continue confessing that I am acceptable. The moment you learn the art of accepting yourself first, it does not matter how many people are disagreeing with you. As long as you have that driving force within yourself, even when people will be rejecting you, even when people will not be there for you, there will still be a driving force telling you you are acceptable and you need not to draw back, but you need to forge ahead. So that driving power is very important in the heart of a son and in the heart of a daughter. And I want to borrow a living example from the politicians. Me, I've seen it. I've been in political arena. I know these things. Listen to this. You heckle a politician. You boo them. You call them names, but you'll find them tomorrow coming back. That is the energy I'm talking about. They have a sense telling them. They have a force driving them to come back tomorrow. And what is this force that is driving them to come back tomorrow? It is that belief that they are acceptable. They believe as much as you are not for them today, you'll be there for them tomorrow. They have that driving force that I am acceptable. So they first and foremost, they accept themselves, and they carry the driving force within themselves that they are acceptable. So fight them today, they they'll come back tomorrow. They don't retreat. They don't give up. Why? Have you ever asked yourself, why are these people never giving up? Now, the power to drive you in that direction is this power of acceptance. When you feel from inside of you, you are acceptable. It does not matter the opposition. It does not matter how people are opposed to you. It does not matter what mountains or valleys that you find around. I'm telling you, when all is said and done, you carry the day. So the father would tell their son, don't expect people to accept you first, but accept yourself, and you'll attract people because you have that power from within that is able to attract. That is very key. Number 3, a father would tell their sons, never forget this, that you are wanted. That one is also very important. He would tell their sons, listen, my son, carry with yourself this power or this force that you are wanted. In other words, you are on demand. Let me tell you, when you carry yourself like that, it does not matter where you'll find yourself. You'll always find yourself leading people and showing people direction. Even when you are taken to another nation, it does not matter the locality. What matters is what you carry from within. The power to win is not from without. The power to win is from within. And so daddy would take time to prepare their sons because of the hardship that are there in the social circles. Let me tell you, it is not easy. If our families causes us trouble, if sometimes we feel like running away from our families, what do you expect when you intermingle with people of different opinion, people of different suggestions, people of different understanding? What do you think of such? There are more opposition outside there more than acceptance, and that's why the father would take more time in preparing their sons first, or preparing the self-image of their sons and daughters first, before they get to interact or intermingle with the people from without. Now listen to this. A father would tell their son, my son, don't wait for people to create for you opportunities, but you need to understand that wherever you be, see yourself on demand. Yes. You don't take me to Uganda and you think that I'll sit down and watch Ugandans do things. No, I'm a leader. When I go to Uganda, I'll be a leader there. When I go to Tanzania, I'll be a leader there. You take me to any part of the world, I don't go to sit down. I go to look for an opportunity to show people the way, to show people how things ought to be done, because I understand I am on demand. I am wanted. And that is the attitude that every child, every male child, every girl child should carry within themselves. Train your son to understand that they are on demand. Let them have that kind of an attitude that whenever they go, they don't waste opportunities. Wherever they go, they don't just sit down to be told. Wherever they go, they don't just go there to listen and spectate. They go there to make contributions. They go there to view their suggestions and their opinions. Listen and listen carefully. So a father would tell their son, my son, never forget that you are wanted. In other words, never forget that you are on demand. That is very key. And listen to this. When you start practicing what I'm teaching you, you don't even need to tell people who you are. People will sense you from afar. And I also want to give us a very simple example now, and because all of us are human beings and we interact with one another. Now, if you go to a certain home, maybe visiting with them, and they welcome you with a cold shoulder, or maybe the welcome is cold told. You don't need anybody to tell you that you are not wanted in that family. You don't need anybody to tell you that they don't need you there. You feel it, you sense it from afar. As much as they are putting a false smile on their face, you can sense it from afar that these people are not for me and I'm not wanted here. That is what I'm trying to communicate to us, that as you grow strong in these periods that I'm introducing to us this very particular moment that builds up self-image, as you grow strong in such periods, in such components, let me tell you, people who sense you from afar. You not fight for opportunities, you not fight for possessions, but people who sense you from afar and they'll identify with what you have. That is very, very, very true. If that is something that cannot be disputed, it is just there. It is so real. It is so tangible. Now get to understand that. So a father would tell their sons, never ever allow yourself to be demeaned. Go with this attitude that I am wanted. I am wanted. And another thing the father would tell their son, remember, we are trying to train ourselves to understand how to build up a strong self-image. Yeah, because if we don't build a very strong self-image, we'll not be able, to handle ourselves in social matters. We'll not be able, to dialogue with others in social matters. We'll not be able to air our opinion when social matters come about. Now, listen to this. A father would not stop there. A father would tell their sons, my son and my daughter, always remember that you are special. Yes, I don't care how much you resemble your brother or your sister. This is one thing that people should get to understand. Even the identical twins should be told this, that anyone who comes on the service of the earth, or anyone that God allows an opportunity to live on the service of the earth, they are special in their own making. They are special in their own ways. And so a father would tell their son, never ever compare yourself with anybody else. I don't want also myself to, one thing I hate is to compare myself with anybody. I like being myself because I am unique in my own making. So a father would tell their son, if you must grow strong in your self-image, never ever compare yourself with any other person, because you are special case and you are unique in your own making. And so as you understand yourself from that from that dimension, you now have the power to handle whatever would come your way. You have the power, you have the strength, you have the courage to be able to face whatever challenge, whatever opinion, whatever suggestion that comes your way. Now listen and listen carefully. I'm talking to a people who are struggling because all their years they have been competing with their brothers. They have been competing with their sisters. They've been competing with other preachers. They have been competing with other counselors. They have been competing with other politicians. That is not your duty. That is not what you are called to do. It should not even appear in your list of business. Such things should erode from your mind from today and never to service again. Listen to me and listen carefully. It is so dangerous to succeed in the long career. It is so dangerous to succeed in that thing that which does not concern you. If you are not called to be a politician, don't copy any politician. Search to understand who you are and the purpose why God allowed you to come down here on earth. Yes, Oh my, listen to this. What I do with passion, because I know God called me to do this, and I don't neglect, and I don't argue about it. I understand it. I know it. I don't need materials when I come here. Because what I was called to do is already in my bloodstream. I only need to open up my mouth and speak. Listen to this. Don't ever succeed in the long career. Don't ever succeed in the long, in the long field, because it will always hurt you all the time. And why do people hurt in themselves? They hurt because they compete and they compare with other people. Now, don't go in the social leadership with with an attitude to compare yourself or to compete with others. Go there as a very special case. Let people see what is in you. Showcase what you have. That is what I'm trying to tell us. Now, let people know you. Let people know who you are. Let people understand the special, the special things that you carry within yourself. Now that you are special, you need to understand you carry special things from within yourself. Listen to this. I don't want to know what my brother does. That is him. Me, I'm special. I'm not like him. I don't want to know what my sister does. Let her carry with her business. I'm not her. Me, I am myself, and I am special in my own making. Now, every son was told of their father, you should always remember that you are special in your own making, and when you interact with those people that you find around in the community, always carry yourself a special case, and you'll have your loom in their midst. You'll have an opportunity to exercise or to showcase what you have. So don't go there trying to compare yourself. And we have a problem with Africans. Sorry to say this because I'm one of you. A majority of us have never lived their lives. A majority of us have never enjoyed what they were born to do. A majority of us do not even have a clue of who they are, because we are fond of copying from others. We are fond of competing with others. From today, can we take a break and discover who we are and the specialties that are within us, and try to exercise or to manifest that thing that God has hidden in you? Wow, you should understand that. Now, before I get continued, allow me to go to the other side of the studio and bring to us another number. Thanks so very much, Maggie Chege. God bless you. I hope you are tuned where you are, and God do you good. Be reminded that as long as you have a good self-image, you'll be a leader everywhere you find yourself. You'll be a leader in the villages. You'll be a leader in the cities. You'll be a leader in the nations of the world. This one calls for no boundaries. It only needs that you discover yourself. It only needs that you get mentored in that and you become a global leader. Can I say it again? You become a global leader. And that is what has diminished Africa. Because we expect so much from other leaders, but we don't consider ourselves able leaders. From today, we must nurture leaders who are global. Who are global, and and leaders that will become effective and influential wherever they find themselves. And I want to repeat it again here, that as you have the right package in self-image, if you have a good self-image, you are a global leader. Not only a village leader, not only a city leader, not only a nation leader, you are a global leader. That is very important to understand. But because of our upbringing and the foundations therein, we were trained to become so limited that we are not effective. When we are out of our tribal cocoons, we don't become effective anymore. Listen to this: as long as your self-image is healthy, you are a leader over every community where you find yourself. And that should be put into, you should take that one to bank. You should consider taking that one to bank. Bank on that. You are not just only an influential leader in your community. You are a leader wherever you find yourself. So to those that are strong, strong tribal leaders, please break from your cocoons. Break from that cocoon. And understand that you are a global leader. That even without your community, even without your tribe, you are still a leader. And that is the kind of information that our sons and daughters should be exposed to, such that they will not be limited the way the generations that are in the past have gone through. Let our sons and daughters be prepared to understand that they are now global, and they are global leaders. Yes, such that they will not be limited in their performance. They will not be limited in their influence. They will not be influenced. They will not be limited in anything that concerns what they were born to do. Yes. Take me to Uganda, I'll do what I'm doing here. Take me to Tanzania, I'll do what I'm doing here. Take me to America, I'll do the same. Take me to China, I'll do this. Yes. Because this one knows no boundary. When you realize yourself as a true leader, boundaries clear by themselves. Boundaries give you room. But as long as your foundation is faulty in social leadership, I'm telling you, you can only be effective in your family levels, but not beyond that. So listen to this. I know there are those of us who have read the book of Genesis, and they have heard of a man by the name Joseph. Joseph was not an Egyptian, but he was born a leader, and he had to become the prime minister in a foreign land. That is what I'm talking about. If you can become an influential politician in Kenya, you can also become an influential politician in America. So don't allow yourself to be limited. If you can become a good preacher in Kenya, you can become a good preacher everywhere. If you are a true leader, you are a true leader everywhere. So the father would tell their son, mark my words, always carry yourself as a special case, because you are special in your own making. Now, the last one the father would tell their son is that you, and also their daughters, that you are capable of making your own decisions. Do you know how many people don't know how to make their own decision? Do you know how many people depend on other people's decisions? They cannot dare make their own decision. Do you know how many people's lives are run by other people's decisions? Making your own decision determines who you are in this world. Making your own decision determines the level from where you'll go. Making your own decisions helps you to realize the potential you carry. Making your own decisions build for you your own kingdom. Yes. If you did not know that. So it is important that sons and daughters be prepared to understand that they have the capacity in themselves to make their own decisions. And once they make their own decisions, a father would tell them, whatever decision that you make, it will ignite fire on you. Because it feels good that it feels good when you hear me mention making your own decision. Let me elaborate on this. It is not that easy the way you think. No. And that's why so many people cannot dare make their own decision. Because the moment you start to stand on your own decision, you ignite fire on yourself. Fire will come. You ignite your own fire. And fire will burn you. So decisions are not for the weak. Decisions are strong-minded people. I come again. Decisions are not for the weak. Decisions are for the strong-minded people. Are people who say, whether fire will burn me, one thing I know, I've already made a decision. Now, decisions that you make will be challenged. Yes, number two, a father would tell their sons and daughters, don't get excited because you are able to make a decision. But every decision that you make will be challenged. So how many of us are able to stand their ground when their decisions are challenged? So it is not that easy the way I'm just mentioning. No, it requires a lot of courage and strength to make a decision and to follow after the same. Number three, the father would tell their sons, whatever decision that you make, it will be fought whether you like it or not. People fight your decisions. So a father would tell their sons, my son, being capable of making your own decision is not just a sweet song to be sung. No, this one requires somebody with a lot of courage and with a lot of strength, because these kind of decisions will be fought. People fight your decisions whether you like it or not. And I have seen it. I have seen people make such good decisions, but when their decisions were tested, they had to quit, they had to withdraw. So hear this. A decision that is made is not easy to maintain. It will undergo many things. It will be fought, it will be opposed, it will be challenged. But you have to tell yourself, I have what it takes to make my own decision. Fight me, but I know where I want to go. Oppose me, but I know where I want to go. Challenge me, but I know where I want to go. Fight that decision, but I am aware that after this, that is where I want to go. Have a target where you want to go. That is very important. So, because this is just but an introduction of what you are going to learn about social leadership, I want us to stop at that. But I'll bring you more information that concerns the social leadership, and I know that the eyes of many will be enlightened. So this is a clarion call to all leaders, and you better tune to Matalo TV for more wisdom. You better tune to Matalo TV for more knowledge. Yes, this is where you are taught things that will help you build your own self, build your vision, build your dreams, and above all, understand the purpose as to why God allowed you to be born on earth. So may the Lord God bless you. May the Lord God do you good. We have only started. The rest I'll be teaching us bit by bit until we get to the point. And I know some days we will be there. God bless you. Let's switch on to the other side of the studio and find ourselves another number.